Guys, so I was filming a tutorial for how to make this book with a card kit, and I still haven't decorated, but like this was the basic idea. So when I was filming this video, I actually started with this, and then I made the mistake of making my hinges the same size as this book, because when you try to stick an envelope, this is too big. However, I'm back and I feel like I can still use the footage because I can now show people who don't have card kits how to use this in double-sided paper. So I am going to show you the video that I filmed to make this base, and then we'll keep going. The video will probably say that we're trying to make this with the envelopes, but actually I'm going to change it so that we make this with double-sided paper. Hopefully that makes sense. So, let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Justina from Magpie and Mockingbird, and today we are going to do a tutorial. We are going to turn a card making kit into a journal. Now, if you don't have a card making kit, grab anything you have. Grab your $1.99 kit from Ollie's. Grab some double-sided paper. I will show you, like, we can make anything work for this, all right? I know it's a complete bummer that American Crafts and OfficeSupply.com don't sell the stuff currently. So if you don't have it, we can find alternatives. Or you can go to scrapbook.com, although I have to tell you, it's like more than double what I paid on the other sites. Okay, so let me do a quick flip through so you can see what we're going to be making today. All right, so my plan is to do something similar, although my plan is always to do something similar and then I make something different. So it should have this structure overall. It's going to be like, I don't know if it's a journal or a mini album, because really it could be either. All right, it has a chipboard frame, but you could use 110-pound cardstock if you want to. It has these chipboard embellishments on this. However, in my Reasons to Smile kit, I don't have chipboard, so mine's not going to have chipboard this time. I did find thickers to give it some lift, but like I said, it's going to be a little bit different. All right, then when you open it up, it's got pockets. It has 4 sections here. Okay, and the way these were created is that they also have pockets in the middle and then a pocket at the end. All right, so we're going to go through how to put this together. And like I said, if you don't have what I have, I will offer suggestions for alternatives. Okay, so this was based on the sketchbook kit. And we are going to switch gears now, and we are going to do Reasons to Smile, okay? So I'm going to go through and just show you what's in here first. So if you're not interested, just fast forward to when we start creating. All right. So this kit, all right, we have all the fun ephemera, which I will set to the side because unfortunately we won't get to that till the end. Okay, we have different cards. So let's see the patterns. Oh, okay. Usually it's 2 different ones. Noted. Oh, this is, okay, so this is going to be a different kind of kit. The cards I was working with before had something completely different on the front than the back. This is the same front and back. Well, not really. This one is the exception, and this one. All right, so we'll have to keep that in mind. It might limit the variety a bit. No big deal. Okay, we have some washi tape. Although I am going to cheat you guys because I do have the washi tape that comes with this. You do not have to have washi tape at all. All right, it comes with some stickers. And if you're doing a kit like this, just get the basic color scheme and get yourself some stickers from the Dollar Tree. All right, these stickers are really cute. Envelopes are flimsy, so keep that in mind. Let's say you don't have cards at all. You just have double-sided paper. Honestly, I think it will make a sturdier journal to use double-sided paper. These aren't as flimsy as some, but they're not thick. Okay, and then foam dot stickers. You can get these from Dollar Tree, you guys. Okay, so now that we see what we are working with. Oh, did I show you I have this paper pack? I think I showed you this, but again, this will be the end. All right, so this is the basic construction. We need to make this frame, which is wrapped chipboard. We need to make hinges, and then on the hinges, that's when these envelopes come into play. All right, so let's start by wrapping some chipboard. So I have some chipboard here. Now I get mine from work, so I'm not sure where to get some. I guess, well, you can get some at Amazon or Michael's. I don't know recommended name brands though. Like this, it's not super thick, and I'm hard pressed to believe that wrapping 110-pound cardstock would be much different. And my pencil. All right, so we said this is roughly, if we do 4.75, then we could do like tabs and stuff and not have to worry. So let's do 4.75, and then we said this was 5 3/4 by 6. All right, so our journal is going to be 4.75 by 6, which means we need to cut 2 pieces of chipboard this size. All right, so I can get that out of this one piece. So what I do for this, I do not use my regular cutter. I use this cutter. It's got a dull blade in it. Cuts chipboard just fine though, and it won't dull my nice one. All right, so we're going to cut this at 4.75. And again, because we need to. I forgot a spine. All right, my other spine was like 2 inches and that worked out well, so let's do 2 inches. All right. Now, so we have 4.75, 4.75, 2 inches. And we're going to cut these down now so that they are 6 inches. Hang on to your chipboard scraps. They will be useful at some point. You can turn them into tags. You can make smaller albums. Something will be needed for it. Okay, so here we go. Front cover, spine, back cover. And now we need to wrap it, which is challenging. So it's challenging just because it's big. So this is a 12 by 12 paper. I have scored it 1 inch here and 1 inch here. What that does is it gives me a line when I'm gluing. Okay, so if I go to put this down, I can line it up here and line it up here. The problem is, even if I don't give any room in that spine, not big enough. So what I did last time was I cut off part of the top and I glued it down here. So you want to give yourself about 1 inch to wrap. So I'm going to cut there. All right. And then I am going to glue this down to make this longer. All right. So here we go. My paper is ready, and you'll know it's ready because when you line it up, you can give yourself about an inch on every side. Let me just move this. You can give yourself an inch on every side for wrapping. You can have a little bit of space. You do not want this spine to touch this cover, or when you go to move it, it's going to crack against itself. Okay? And then like that. Okay? So what I'm going to do is glue it down first. Then I'm going to trim off the excess and then wrap it. Okay? All right. So, did I say this? I'm sorry, guys. I'm scattered today. So this is scored 1 inch this way. This is scored 1 inch that way. And that gives you a line to line up your pieces on. I recommend it. I feel like it makes life easier. So there we go. Clean off my knife. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it here so it still has an inch. And then I'm going to trim it here so it has an inch. And then we are going to wrap and miter and glue it down. Probably should do this first. Okay, and this, if it's not precise, if it's crooked, doesn't matter. You're just folding it and gluing it. I would have left more room there if I had stopped to think for 10 more seconds. Okay, so now we have the chipboard wrapped. Okay, and we already have our score lines here and here. So now we need to fold it here. I'm probably gonna hit the camera. I apologize. All right, and yes, we have this big ugly line right here, but that's okay because we're going to cover it with paper. Okay, and then I just need to fold it on itself. So what I'm doing is I'm picking this up and I'm folding it down on itself to make this crease line. Get right in there with your scoring knife and go over it. The better crease this is, the easier the next couple steps will be. All right. Okay, so I've gone through and I've creased all of this. And then what we're going to do now is miter. Okay, so do you see how these come together and they intersect here at this point? This is extra that we need to get rid of. However, we don't want to cut right to that point because if we do, when you go to fold and glue, this piece of cardboard is going to stick out and it's going to really look bad against this pink. So what I do, and there is a tool for this, it's the same kit that came with this that you can pop on the corner. I'm going to freehand it, but I'll put the kit in my description in case you're interested. Okay, so I'm going to cut almost to the corner and then pull away. Hopefully that was in focus. All right, again, I'm going to cut almost to the corner and then pull away. All right, this is called mitering. So, you know, when we're wrapping a gift, this is like the part of the gift that you just tuck in and it's no big deal because it's thin wrapping paper. When it's cardstock, it is a big deal. It's going to get bulky and awkward and you don't want it. All right, so now I am going to, actually, first I'm going to take my scoring knife and I'm just going to put it in here. just so when it comes time to fold it, I already have like my lines defined kind of thing. All right, so I always start at the ends. I'm going to glue my ends down, then I'll glue my sides down, then I'm going to score this and fold it again. All right, so I'm going to be very honest. I hate this part. I'm going to use a piece of paper to cover this cardboard, but it doesn't work out for me, guys, and I don't know why. So whenever I do this, I glue it down, and then I go to like push this up, and something bubbles every time, no matter what. So I do not claim to be the expert on this. If you know a better way, do it. And also share it with me, please, because I don't know what I do wrong. All right, so I'm just going to mark how big I need this. And I'm going to cut it. So, I mean, I'm not going edge to edge, you guys. That would be really hard. I'm definitely leaving space. All right, I'm going to use my paper trimmer to get that piece, and then save the other piece. This is a 12 by 12, by the way. Save the other piece, we need it to make the hinges. Okay, so I have my piece, and I'm just going to glue it down. All right, and now these next steps I'm going to show you. This is what I do, but like I said, it goes wrong every time. So maybe this is not what to do. But I just go through and I score this part again, and I score this part again, and then I fold it. Oh, okay. Well, way to make a liar out of me, paper. It worked. All right, so now we have to make the hinge. Okay, so if my calculations are correct, we need a 6 by 8 piece for the hinge. So I'm going to cut the 6, and now the 8. And this should do it. All right, now I'm going to show you a scoreboard. You don't have to have a scoreboard. I think it would be pretty hard to do this without one, though. I mean, you could go through and mark this by hand and do it, but again, I think this would be really hard, you guys. All right, so I'm going to score. Okay, so I have this on the 8-inch side, which you can't see. Hang on. There we go. Okay, I have this on the 8-inch side. I'm going to score 1 inch at the beginning. Going to flip it so I also have 1 inch at the end. All right, and now I'm going to score at every 1/2 inch between these. All right. Okay, so these are the pieces I plan to glue, so I want them to be a little bit bigger. So now we're going to go through and we are going to fold every single one of these lines. All right, and you do have to pay attention while you're doing this. More than once, you guys, I have done this and then the lines started going diagonal, and it does show in your work, so you just don't want that. So here we go, and we should have one. Okay, so this is what you don't want to do, because I definitely did this before, is that I made each one of these a peak, and then it's so tight, like it's impossible. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a peak. Do you know what I mean by peak? So this part coming up. Okay, you're going to make a peak and then give yourself a gap. And then a peak and give yourself a gap. And like this, I'm gonna have to go in and just fold it like that. Okay, you're going to see me use double-sided tape for this. Oh man, guys, we're out of frame. I'm sorry. There, hopefully you saw things. Okay, so I'm going to use double-sided tape for this. You do not have to. You 100% can use glue. 9 times out of 10, I prefer glue. However, to keep things moving, I'm going to use double-sided tape. Double-sided tape is not forgiving. Once you put it down, it doesn't move without ripping. So please keep that in mind. If that makes you nervous, you also could put down double-sided tape and just give yourself a little squiggle of glue, and that will buy you a couple seconds if you need them. All right, so I put down the tape, and I'm going to fold down, okay? And now I have my peak right here, okay? I'm going to leave this alone and then make my next one here. And by the time I get done, I should have 4. Although math is not my friend. If any of my math teachers are watching this, they would tell you I have no business helping you with math related items. All right, but let's see. So I'm skipping this, going on to this one. You could just rip it, but when I rip it, it doesn't go well. All right. Sorry guys, I feel like you're crafting with Debbie Downer today. Okay, and then fold it down on itself. You can get right in there, push down. Okay, so now we have 2 peaks. This, we're going to have to leave it alone. What am I doing here? All right, there we go. So this, I'm going to attach. So leave this alone, attach here. And if you're counting, it's just every 3rd one. Okay, so now we have 3, and we're going to skip this and do this, and I never should have done this last one. Let me write that down. Okay, it's really not a big deal. All right, so now we have 4 hinges, and this should not be there, so just pretend that's not there. 4 hinges that we can now glue into our book. So here is the book. And we basically want to center these here. Okay, you want to center it like that. And then we'll use our scoring knife to score and then fold. All right, and I am going to use glue for this part. And so I usually have that playing in the background. So it's like oddly quiet today to not have that. Okay. All right. So you want to really push this down, get in between each of the tabs, push it down. All right. Okay, and now I'm going to find these indentation marks on the previous side and score them. Okay guys, so we have the base constructed. So we have our hinges. Everything is wrapped, but clearly needs to be covered. And I can show you now how to do the pages on the inside. And this is one where if you don't have a card making kit, you have options, okay? So let's dive in. Okay, so I have this Reasons to Smile paper pad, and actually, so I got it for $3.30 from Office Supply. No, this was the American Crafts Vault sale. Okay, so this works out better than expected because it's single-sided. Normally, I'm not crazy about single-sided. However, when I go to make each of my pages, whatever's on the inside is not going to be visible. So this feels good. Okay, so this is what I have. This is going to be my front and back cover. This is going to be the spine. These are going to be little cutout pieces to put throughout the journal. And I think these will be as well. I can also use them, like glue down one side and use them as a pocket. Please excuse the sound of my children loudly playing in the background. All right, then these pages are going to be my actual like 4 pages in here. So I picked out polka dot, this really cute like throw pillow and journal and coffee, this one with the flowers, and this one with the hearts. All right. All right, so if you are following these measurements, your piece needs to be 6 by 9. We are going to fold it in half, and then we are going to glue it onto this first hinge. All right, and I'm going to do this one step at a time. So I'm going to start with
I
this.
think this collapsed.
All right, you can make it again. Okay. So I want this top part to be my pocket, so I am going to glue here and here. Okay, and so here is my first page with a pocket on the top, and now I need to have 3 more 6 by 9 pieces to make 3 more pages. All right, so here we go. So we have our 4 pages. Each page has a pocket on the top. And then I think, because I have like a leftover strip like this for each one, I think I can make side pockets. Although this is quite busy, so maybe I'll do solid paper and see. But that is how, if you don't have envelopes, you can use paper to make the journal.